Xarelto is a new drug that was approved in 2011 to aid in the prevention of stroke in patients with atrial fibrillation. It's part of a new class of drugs called the new anti-oral coagulants, a class which includes other drugs such as Pradaxa and Eliquis. All of these new drugs claim to be an improvement upon the standard therapy that has existed for the last 50 years through a medication called warfarin, also known as Coumadin. All of these new drugs, as well as warfarin, are effective at reducing a person's risk of stroke. However, because they are all blood thinners, they greatly increase your risk of suffering serious internal bleeding. However, there are ways to significantly reduce your risk of a major bleed. If you are on one of these blood-thinning medications, a simple blood test could help. Warfarin patients have had their blood tested for decades in an effort to control their risk of a major bleed. But unlike warfarin, the makers of these new blood thinners like Pradaxa and now Xerelto claim that you don't need to have your blood tested. They have bombarded patients and their doctors with this message through direct-to-consumer advertising and on their websites. They claim that this is a major advantage of their products over warfarin, but nothing could be farther from the truth. The makers of Pradaxa recently agreed to pay $650 million to the users of their drug who experience serious or fatal bleeding events. The core allegation in that case is that blood testing Pradaxa patients would result in a significant reduction of a risk of the major bleed. In fact, that litigation, it was uncovered that the drug maker had secretly calculated that they could reduce major bleeds by 20% if they had simply tested their patient's blood. But this information was never shared with the doctors or their patients. Now, those same facts that made Pradaxa so dangerous, being the absence of blood testing, is also true for Xerelto. Through an early examination of publicly available documents, the indications are that a Xerelto patient's risk of a major bleed could be significantly reduced with a simple blood test. However, the makers of Xerelto withheld this important safety information from the patients and their doctors. If you or a loved one have experienced a serious or fatal bleeding event while on Xerelto, you need to contact an experienced drug litigation attorney immediately to discuss and preserve your legal rights. The law offices of Meyers Flowers and their team of top trial attorneys have represented thousands of clients injured by these types of cases. They are one of the nation's leading law firms in personal injury, medical malpractice, and drug litigation cases. Led by Illinois super lawyer and former president of the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association, Peter J. Flowers, Peter and his team have the experience and expertise to succeed. If you or a loved one has been using Xerelto and experienced complications from its use, you may be able to receive financial compensation. Call us at 888-698-1216 or contact us through the link below for a free case evaluation. I'm Bob Bevilacqua, attorney spokesperson.